I've got top of the hour.
We both have top of the hour. I say we get going. I say
I
we
think
get
it's
this
go time.
party. We get this party started with the chicken curry and the pancakes and the papayas and everything else that people are having for lunch. So, just in case you're not sure if we can, see your questions in the question box, we absolutely can. I'm having a papaya and egg sandwich as soon as we're done with this webinar. And that'll show you how serious I am. All right, so let's make sure that you're in the right spot. Besides the food, besides the cuisine, this is for you if you are anyone, I mean anyone, who sells your expertise, knowledge, or wisdom. Meaning speakers, consultants, trainers, coaches, experts, authors, online course creators, information marketers, the people that Teresa and I lovingly call our tribe the speaking-driven professionals. So if this is you, you're in the right spot. Basically, if you use your knowledge and wisdom to solve a major business problem for your clients and audiences, this is for you. We are really going to focus on money. We're going to focus on money and fees, and this is going to be the MBA on the financial side of your speaking-driven business. So we're going to talk about the economic reality of speaking and training and coaching and consulting fees. We're going to talk about some of the very real dangers of charging too little, how to put your fee in perspective, and we call that the context of value and the contrast of scale, or how to do a return on investment calculation that will make your fees, no matter how high they may be, seem affordable and irresistible. Avoiding some pricing landmines that may have been holding you back up until this point. Some exact word-for-word scripting on how to present your fee without sabotaging yourself or without you having to fold like a cheap card table. And then some next steps to help you make it happen. Now, there is, as always, an endurance prize. If you hang out until the bitter end, we've got some speaker-specific gifts for you, and of course, we're also doing our big Q&A. What I'd like to do, Teresa, if it's okay with you, is actually spend a little bit less time on the teaching, because the teaching is pretty straightforward. I want to do a deep dive Q&A today. I want to make sure that every question people have about money and monetizing your expertise, how to get paid, when to get paid, how much to get paid, how to negotiate, how to close deals, and get the fees that you deserve. I want this to be like a lab session, a laboratory deep dive, roll up your sleeve session at the end of today's masterclass. Would that be okay with you?
I think that is a fabulous idea, actually. So yeah, let's do that.
Here's what I want you guys to do. Don't necessarily ask questions during, because they fly by fast and furious and we will lose track. I want you to write down the questions that you have as we're going through some of these practices and principles and tools and strategies and scripts. The more questions that you have by the end, the richer and deeper that Q&A lab session is going to be. So let's make sure that you do that. Let's get right to the question box. Quick poll. I just want to see, because we've got people coming in that may have never been paid to speak, and we've got folks here that I know you're already a $15,000, $18,000, $20,000 per program keynoter or seminar presenter. I'm curious, what's the highest fee that you've been paid to speak? And whether that's a keynote, a one-day seminar, a one-day workshop, a two-day training, whatever it is, what's the biggest speaking-focused check that you have taken to the bank? And we'll just do a quick little survey here, because we've got some strategies that are more applicable to the intermediate speakers. We've got some strategies that are more applicable to the advanced speakers. And we're not going to name any names here, but I'm just curious, Teresa, from a numbers standpoint, what's the range that's coming in here?
We've got from 0, not yet, nothing, to 20K, 10.5, 10K, 8,500, 3,600, 2,500. It's 150. Ouch. 5,000 for an all-day workshop.
Okay.
They keep coming in. 1,000.
Super. So quite the range, quite the range. So not a lot to a nice, serious speaking fee, well into the 5 figures here, and that's great. So here's what I want you to do. As we're going through some of these financial calculations, I want two things to immediately be erased from your brain cells. Take these out of your mindset right now. Number one is self-limiting thinking. Oh, I could never charge that. Oh, my clients would never pay that. Oh, that wouldn't work for me. Please, for the next 50, 55 minutes, set that aside. Reject and eject that from your mindset. That's number one. The second thing I want you to reject and eject is the sin of comparison. So, oh, this person's making 15,000. They must be better than me. They must be smarter than me. They must have 3 PhDs. They must have 57 years of experience. Do not compare yourself. The whole point of today, wherever you are with your fee quoting and fee setting and fee getting strategies, is improvement, not comparison. So write those two things down. No self-limiting thoughts and no comparison. No self-limiting thoughts, no comparison. Be open to what we're teaching you today. And I think you will get a tremendous amount out of today's workshop. So let me ask you a tough question here. We're at the end of the first quarter, beginning of the second quarter. Just looking at Q1 2018, as an expert who speaks professionally, are you 100% happy with the financial results that you've generated? And let me be specific. By that I mean sales. By that I mean income. By that I mean caliber and level of your clients. And if we took what you did in Q1 and we simply replicated it, cloned it, and duplicated it for Q2, Q3, Q4, would you have a great year? And you'd be super happy? Would it be like, nah, yeah, C plus maybe, average, or oh my God, I cannot repeat Q1 2018 ever? So happy's on a scale of 1 to 10. Let's make a happy scale, Teresa. 1 is not happy at all. Get me the hell out of quarter 1. I hope I never have to relive that nightmare. And 10 is, give me quarter 1 2018 for the rest of my life, and I'm a super happy camper. So 1 through 10. 1 is not happy. 10 is perfect, awesome. Give me quarter 1 of 2018 for the rest of my days, and I will retire rich, fat, and happy. So what do we have? What do we have, folks? How is quarter 1? Let's do a reality check right here, right now. Are you 100% happy, scale of 1 to 10, with the sales, your personal income, and the level and caliber of clients that you've landed in the past 90 days?
It's not looking good, David. We've got a lot of people in the 1s and 2s and 3s. Get me out of Q1. Absolutely not happy. Can't repeat ever. Not just next quarter, but not ever.
Got it.
Roller coaster ride, 25% happy. Otherwise, it sucks.
You know, I'm only seeing one number over 5 here, and it's a 6. It's a 6. So it's like, okay, 6 is like mildly happier, more happy than unhappy. So we got to fix this for you guys. We're going to fix it here. We're going to fix it fast. If you want to talk, we can talk through fixing it for you personally, and we'll share with you how to do that towards the end of our time together. But this is really important. So if you're in the 1s through the 6s, which is most people, all people that have responded so far, what do you think is the number one thing keeping you from consistent financial success? So we've already established, you gave me your high number. The high number is 5,000, 6,000, 1,500, 2,500. So we have your high number. We've established you're not that happy with Q1. So what that means to me is there's a consistency problem. What do you think is the number one thing keeping you from consistent financial success? And you don't have to write a novel here. Just jot down so that we know how to take the rest of this masterclass and what direction to take it in. Is it about leads? Is it about sales? Is it about value prop? Is it about negotiating? Is it about building relationships with the right kinds of buyers? So use some keywords and short phrases. What is really holding you back? You're a smart cookie. You know what's broken. You know what's missing. You know what's funky in your revenue generation game plan. You know where the holes are. What do you think is the number one thing that's keeping you from consistent financial success? Some people put $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $10,000 as the highest fee they've ever been paid. Well, why aren't you doing that 2, 3 times a month? Why aren't you generating 15, 20, 25, 30K per month consistently every single month, every single quarter, every single year? And we'll talk about building a 300K plus business model later in the workshop today. But I'm curious, if you were to isolate the number one thing, what would it be? Teresa, what's the number one thing for some people?
Prospecting and leads, which is certainly familiar. We've heard that quite a bit.
Yeah.
I think, somebody was really honest, and I won't call them out, but they said commitment to the business. Actually,
Wow.
I would imagine that's that proactive nature, that being committed and being persistent and consistent.
Yeah.
And again, we've got some inner demons playing some mind monkey brain tricks on people.
Yeah.
And not confident in what to charge and how to ask for the fees. So that will have some helpful information for them.
For sure.
And how to get past the gatekeepers. So back in that prospecting and asking for fee.
Okay, great. Well, again, not great, but I get it. And we've worked with folks in all of these areas. And I will tell you one sign of hope, one glimmer of hope for everybody. And I'm skimming these right along here with you also, Teresa. Every one of these things is fixable. It really, really is. So you just need the strategy, the tactics, maybe a little bit of loving butt kicking, some accountability, some structure, and all of these blockages are fixable and solvable, and we'll start working on those right here in this workshop today. So here's a quick cautionary tale. I was talking with a 15-plus year veteran speaker. She had changed topics, she had changed markets, she had done some shifts and some kind of balancing acts in her business over the years. When it came to talking about fees and money, I said, "What's your fee right now?" She says, "David, I don't know." I said, "Well, what do you mean you don't know?" She says, "Listen, I've charged, in the last 12 months, I've charged $1,500, I've charged $15,000. I just don't know anymore. You tell me." Now imagine if you are so lost in the woods that between 1,500 and 15,000, you're not even sure where you belong. You're not even sure where you are on that scale. That's terrible. But that's the kind of confusion that even good speakers, seasoned speakers, expert speakers that we often work with in our mentoring program, they're coming in with this crazy upside down broken mindset about money and fees and value and all of the interconnected things. And that is just a terrible, terrible, terrible place to be. So I will tell you right off the bat, 3 scary fee mistakes. Number 1, I don't know what to charge. I don't know what to charge. I'm a blank slate. And what this often means is that your fee is dependent on their budget. Number 2 is I know for a stone cold fact that I charge too little. And then number 3, this is the joke about everyone always has 3 fees. There's the fee that they say they quote, there's the fee they quote, and there's the fee they get, or the fee they settle for. So I always cave on price. So I'm wondering, which one is yours? Just jot in the question box real quick. Don't know what to charge, just put don't know. You know you charge too little, and we're going to fix that today. You know you charge too little, so put too low. Or you always end up caving on price, and write the word cave in the question box. Sometimes cave, by the way, also means caving down to 0. Caving down to 0, which really hurts. So out of these 3, let me go back and give you the choices. Don't know what to charge, type in don't know. I know I charge too little, so type in too low or too little. And then I always cave on price, just type in cave. If it's all 3, some people are putting all 3, OMG, yes to all. I'm just curious kind of which ones of these huge pricing mistakes and pricing landmines do you lay claim to? Any patterns there, Teresa?
Yeah, it's no wonder Q1 was so bad for so many. We've got cave, don't know, too low, cave when I try to get a higher fee. I use the good, get a better, best pricing model. Not sure if he's getting it. Don't know. Pricing varies by size of company. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cave, too low, don't know. Hey, there's a rhyme there. Too low and don't know.
Too low, don't know. So let me tell you, when you get this dialed in, when you get this dialed in, here's Glenn Carver, who came through our program. Um, we decided that from a specificity standpoint, he was going to talk to CEOs. And the best venue for him to get in front of CEOs was to talk to CEO roundtables and to facilitate some of these type of meetings. So the lead generating strategy that he used, as you can see from his email to me here, I delivered 2 free talks to 2 CEO groups last month, as you suggested. That generated a $2,500 gig and a $5,000 gig. Now, talk about paid lead generation. Listen to this. $2,500 is not a great fee, but he says the $2,500 gig should turn into my first long-term client. Keep you posted. Also, I quoted my keynote fee at $7,500 for the first time. So once you get in touch and you make concrete decisions about your value and your fee schedule and who you're meant to serve and what problems you're meant to solve, the money piece and the confidence in quoting the fee and getting the fee and not caving on the price goes way, way, way up. And of course, Glenn gets the credit because Glenn did the work, but having the structure and the accountability not to cave on the price and having the guidance to do a much better job with this, every single client, every single call, every single prospect, every single month, and every single quarter for the rest of Glenn's professional career, that's where the payoff on getting clarity around the fees really starts to kick in. So here's a big mistake, right? Here's a big myth. Speaking fees are random. My friends, speaking fees are not random. Fees reflect reality. Fees reflect reality. I would say the number one biggest myth is my fee is dependent on their budget. No, 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 no. Yeah, exactly. It's the game show. Yeah, you lose sound, right? This is the biggest loser. The biggest loser says my fee is dependent on their budget. If that's the case, then you are settling, you are caving, and you are betraying your revenue model. And we're going to get back to revenue model a little bit later on in the webinar today. But do not betray your revenue model and do not abdicate the financial fee-getting responsibility that you have as an entrepreneur of your expertise. That's the biggest takeaway. How do I know this? Believe me, I have been lost, screwed up, hit every brick wall, hit every dead end in my own business when I started this crazy business back 16 years ago. And I spent way too many quarters and way too many years undercharging, under-earning, and being unnecessarily broke. I want you to think about that phrase, how heartbreaking that phrase is. Unnecessarily broke. Do you guys feel like you're unnecessarily broke? Like, is there a $200,000, $300,000 guy or gal that's sitting in your chair right now who's maybe earning 80 or 100 or 120 and you're doing okay and you're treading water, but you know you can do better? There's a $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 per year speaking-driven expert hiding somewhere in your office. Look under the bed. Look in the closet. See where they are. Look in your chair. Look in your chair. Maybe they're sitting there right now. If you've ever felt that way, then you're in the right spot. Then you're in the right spot. So here's what it takes, my friends. And someone said this. I don't know who said it in the chat, but you're exactly right. Here's what it takes. Here's your laundry list. Number 1, resolve to fix it. Are you committed? Are you serious? Is this the time? Or are you going to wait some more? Are you going to struggle some more? Are you going to put this off? So everyone that wants to put off financial success, please type in, I'm ready to put this off in the chat. Say, I'm not ready. I don't want to make, $60,000, $70,000 in quarter 2. That's too rich for my blood. I don't want to do that. Is anyone typing that in the question box, Teresa, that they're just not ready. They're not committed. This can wait. They're happy being kind of broke or treading water for another few quarters, another few months. No big deal. Is anyone saying that that's their situation?
You know what? Unless they're the slowest typers on the face of the earth, no one has typed that in the chat.
I don't think so. Exactly. So what does this mean? This means that you're prepared to make a different set of decisions. that you are decisive, you are an action taker, you are not any longer going to tolerate waiting around to get lucky. You're not going to wait for the magic prospecting gods to send you prospects and leads and referrals out of the blue. You're not sitting waiting for the phone to ring and see what happens today, see what happens tomorrow, see what happens the next day. What you're going to do is you're going to craft your exact plan, and you're committed to doing that today. You're going to get help figuring out the exact steps when it comes to fees and financials, and that's what we're doing today right now together. But you're committed to getting help with that, and you are ready for a different set of results, meaning that you're committing to make something happen. You're committed to make something happen. If that's you, type yes in the question box. Type yes, type hell yes, type about time, type if this is really where you're coming into this masterclass with. I would love you to lay claim and lay credit to this kind of mindset, because this is always what it takes to go from zero to hero, or from doing okay to doing great, or from doing great to finally creating the speaking-driven revenues and income and business that you've always wanted. So type in yes, hell yes, OMG yes, yes times a million. I'm seeing some of these come in. If you're prepared to make that decision now, then you're ready for the rest of what we're teaching today. And if you're not, I'm going to be brutally honest. You know what, guys? Click off. Click off, close the webinar, get out of here. This isn't for you. This is not for the dabblers, the wannabes, the maybe, someday, I can wait, whatever. If we lose half the people right now, great. The correct half are staying, and the rest are going bye-bye because they're tourists. They're sightseers in their own speaking business. And that's a terrible place to be. I wish you well, but so long. So what's the roll call, Teresa? Who are the committed folks? Let's do a roll call of honor.
We have Aaron and Jane and Cassandra and Jesse and Kathy, Dr. Pamela Fox, Philip, Dave, Lynn. We've got Michael, Billy, and I gotta say we've got a hell's yes in there for Michael. When Billy says hell yes, and we've got yes, all in. I love that. Jesse, that's awesome. All in. Hell effing yes from Vinny. Jerome says certainly. Thanks, I'm excited. Cassandra says.
Awesome. Well, again, if you have the resolve, if you have the commitment, then let's get busy. Let's get busy. Here's the economic reality about speaking fees. This comes right out of Smart Meetings Magazine. If you guys are not subscribing to Smart Meetings Magazine, I highly recommend it, because that's what your buyers are reading. And here's the 5 levels of fee, and what the article that goes out to the meeting planners and the conference producers, it says that your fee says about you as a speaker. So level 1 is an unpaid speaker. In the words of the meeting planners and conference producers that bring in unpaid speakers, mediocre, just starting out. Ouch. 1,000 to 2,500, you get what you pay for, and they don't mean that as a compliment. 2,500 to 5,000, transition from part-time. Still a dabbler, still an amateur, still hasn't quite gotten his or her sea legs, but that's the perception at that fee level. The perception at the 5K to 10K level is now you're hiring a true professional, and the perception of a $10,000 fee and higher is some kind of bestseller, or New York Times bestselling author, some kind of celebrity, some kind of marquee name that's going to be a draw and help you put butts in seats. Where do I want you to be? I want you to be at level 4. Right now, whether you've been paid to speak a little or you've been paid to speak a lot, the sweet spot, and some of you guys are already higher than this, and I love that, and that's great. And I know that Frank and Susan and James, you're higher than this, and that's fantastic. But at least 5 to 10. If you're 10,000 and up, 10, 12, 15, $18,000 speakers that we've had in our mentoring program, maybe it's time to level up from there. Maybe you've been stuck at that fee level for 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, and you forgot your fee elevation and escalation strategies, and even you need to go higher up the food chain so that your fee reflects your underlying value. I remember talking to a prospect whose name was Nancy, up in Buffalo, New York, and she was on this kind of low-fee gig-to-gig hamster wheel. She says, David, all I'm finding is these low-fee and no-fee gigs. I can't get out of Buffalo. I'm doing the local library. I'm doing the ladies' auxiliary. I'm doing the hospital volunteer group. I'm doing the rubber chicken lunch circuit. I'm speaking down at the pizza parlor. Here's the problem. If you're aiming so low that you have no context, no benchmark comparison, no firsthand knowledge of what a good client would pay you, and what I told Nancy is, Nancy, the problem is not that all you're getting, all you're finding is these, $100 gigs, $300 gigs, $800 gigs. I said, the problem is you're taking them. The problem is you're taking them. So as soon as you're telling yourself, I'm a $300 speaker because I'm willing to take a $300 check, everything flies off the rails. Everything goes to hell in a handbasket, and you don't want to do that. So I'll tell you a quick story from my own background. I'm here in suburban Philadelphia. I sat down with the VP of Learning and Development at QVC, the home shopping network here. This was 13 years ago now, 13 years ago. I had a self-published book. I thought I was the bomb. I thought I was, all kinds of fantastic. And she said, David, we'd like to bring you in. How much is it? And I said, it's going to be $6,000. It's going to be $6,000. This is in 2005. So here's what she said to me. She kind of had a sharp intake of breath, and she went, oh, well, David, we're not used to paying any more than $4,500 for a one-day program. Now, let's unpack that. This is a VP level executive 13 years ago says we're not used to. Notice the word used to. That's the expectation. That's the standard. That's what they're comfortable with doing every day, every week, that they need to bring in an outside expert. We're not used to paying any more than $4,500 for a one-day program. And so, by the way, today, if you inflation correct that, that is $5,593. So, the wake-up call, my friends, is why aren't, for those folks that are below that number, and I know some of you are not, that's why we asked about the numbers early at the top of the call, why aren't you charging and getting at least what low-level, no-name trainers and speakers like me were charging and getting 12, 13, 14 years ago? In today's dollars, that's at least $4,500, $5,500, $7,500 consistently. Why can't you do that 2 or 3 times a month? 2 or 3 times a month, that's a very nice $15,000, $22,000 per month revenue model. And it's doable. Clients are not only willing to pay it, they're not only able to pay it. Like you saw with the QVC story, they're expecting to pay it. They're expecting to pay it. So Lisa Hain came through our program. She said, within my first 2 weeks, I used your material to close a speaking engagement for $5,000. I used your exact coaching and tools to sway the client to choose me. I now know how to do this with every prospect going forward. Just that one skill. Imagine being able to present your fee with confidence, get on a conference call, justify that fee, claim that fee, be proud of that fee, and take home that fee, win that deal, close that contract, close that deal. And again, $5,000 is where Lisa came in. We've got folks coming in at $10,000 or $12,000 or $14,500 or $17,500 or whatever the number is, but having the confidence and the clarity of why the fee is the fee and why this is the best money they will ever invest in a speaker, in a trainer, in a consultant. If you had that superpower, I think your business would be dramatically different. I really, really do. And so that kind of result, once you're anchored in the value, the fee becomes a no-brainer. The fee becomes a no-brainer. So here's the only 3 reasons that you're not getting these kinds of fees. Number 1 is no clear business and revenue model. Number 2 is low self-esteem or low self-worth. So just like my client that said $1,500, $15,000, I don't know, you tell me. She's totally lost her bearings about the speaking-driven marketplace, and she's pricing things in a vacuum. Or no intelligent prospecting is happening in your business, or you have no proactive sales process. So no revenue model, low self-worth, low self-esteem, or no proactive sales and prospecting methodology. I can't think of anything else. Teresa, is there any other reason why our clients coming into our program are not generating the money that they want to make?
Well, the fees are not leaving their mouth, so they're not standing in that fee. And all four of these points pretty much hit it. I think just the belief in the value that you bring is not being conveyed to the people
Right,
you're
and
having
that's really
conversations
point
with.
number two. I mean, low self-worth,
Yep.
low self-esteem, that's the vacuum of belief.
Yep.
That's the
Yep.
vacuum of confidence, right? That you're like, well, I don't know if I'm worth it. I don't know how to charge it. I don't know how to convince them or persuade them or beat them over the head with a lead pipe. You know, our clients never beat anybody over the head with a lead pipe to get the fee. They present the fee and the clients jump to pay it because they have the right value proposition, the right kind of bridging language, which we're going to give you, the right kind of scripting, which we're going to give you here in a couple of minutes, so that the missing pieces are no longer a mystery. They're no longer a mystery. Let's talk about underpricing. And just for the simplicity of the math, we're going to talk about the phantom $5,000 speech. So let's say that your speaking fee is $7,500. You find a gig that's willing to pay you $5,000. You figure, hey, my alternative is staying home in sweatpants and making no money that day. Let me take the $5K gig. Let me take the $5K gig. It's not ideal, but let me take it. How much money did you make? Go ahead, type in the question box, guys. Let's do some simple first grade math. Your fee is $7,500. They negotiate you. They make you cave down to $5,000 without giving up any value. And better than a $0 day is what you're thinking. You took a $5,000 check to the bank. How much money did you make? How much did you make that day? And yes, it's a trick question. But go ahead and see if you're one step ahead of me here. See if you guys are one step ahead of me. Type in the question box, how much money did you make that day? Teresa, we have some smart cookies that are one step ahead of me.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Yes, we've got some smart. Negative 2,500, negative 2,500, lost 2,500. Michael says negative 7,500.
Oh, that's an interesting perspective. Yeah.
Technically lost of a loss of 2,500, but today I would think I made 5K. Change in perspectives already happening.
Yeah. Well, again, I know that we have smart folks that hop on these master classes, right? Here's the deal. Revenue model is $7,500. You'd like to do that 3 times a month. Your target number, your target gross top line revenue is $22,500 a month. By the way, that is very doable for almost everybody on this webinar right now. I don't care where you're coming from. Some of you are much higher. That's great. I love you. Hugs, kisses. That's terrific. Even the people that think this is wildly out of reach, I am here to tell you it is not wildly out of reach. You could be doing this. Here's the deal. If that's your model, stick with me on this. You took one of your 3 slots and you threw in a value of 5K instead of 7,500. And you are actually negative 2,500. So congratulations to all the folks that figured that one out. Here's why. You spent 1.5 days of travel, at least 3/4 of a day to get there, 3/4 going back. Some people might call that 2 days. I call it 1.5. 1 day doing the gig. You could have leveraged those 2.5 days to find your next $7,500 gig. What could you do with literally 20 hours of prospecting time? An 8-hour day, another 8-hour day, and then a 4-hour half day focused on building relationships, reaching out, connecting with, adding value to your next $7,500 speaking client. So you lost the money and you also lost the opportunity cost of 2.5 days of solid outreach, prospecting, research, and relationship building with the people that you should be serving because you were looking for love in all the wrong places. So, understanding what's now possible for you and that you may have been undercharging, under-earning, underpricing, or caving on price, it's declaration time, guys. Type in your new fee your new standard speaking fee based on the monthly number you want to make, and then one word on how that feels. So 7,500, awesome. 10K, deserving. 5,500, worthy. What else is coming in? Type in a number. Just type in the number that you're committing to right now. We talked about one of the success ingredients is commitment and decisiveness. So what's your decision right here, right now, starting today? What's the new number that's going to leave your mouth? When they say, Teresa, that sounds great. How much is it? Frank, that sounds terrific. How much is it? And we're going to talk about how to answer that question. The exact scripting is still coming up. But what's your new fee number? And if you've been stuck at 10K, 12K, 15K for too long, maybe it's time to elevate and escalate your fee number to a higher number. And then type in the word. What's the emotion word on how that feels? How does that feel coming out of your mouth? How does that feel in your bones? How does that feel in your heart? How does that feel in your soul?
I love this part. I love this part because this is where the perspective changes. This is where a new commitment comes into play. So we've got Michael says 7,500. Aaron says 6,500 and exciting. I think this might win the award for the most creative. James says 10,000 and sexalicious.
James is a sexalicious guy. I know Jim. He is super sexalicious.
Jane says 7,500. It's about time. We've got Cassandra at 5,000. Yikes, but excited. That's good. Lynn says 5,000. Easy. I like that response. Wayne says 7,500. Great. We've got Dawn that says 5K. A little leery. Little neat. Maybe needs a little more belief in there.
Nice.
Kathy says 7,500 and resolve. That's a great response. Love it.
This is where the rubber meets the road, guys. This can be another nice webinar, or this can be the inflection point in your business.
That's right. That's right.
Now I'm gonna do something I don't usually do, and that is I'm gonna call out a couple of people, not by name, but you know who you are. That this is not your first webinar. This may even not be your first webinar because we did this webinar back in January. You may have seen it back then, and you're putting all kinds of numbers and all kinds of emotions and all kinds of commitment into the question box, but here you are, and you're telling us that your quarter one sucked. So we did this webinar, Teresa. I checked my records. We did this on January 8th.
Yep.
So January 8th of 2018. Today is April 18th of 2018. People are putting in the question box 5K, 7,500, 10K, awesome, excited, committed, and you're not. And you're just not. If you were, then you'd be thrilled with your numbers and you'd be saying, hey, give me Q1 all day, every day for the rest of my life. So is today the day that you type a number in the question box, or is today the day that you change your actions and change your behavior? I would encourage you, please, make today the day that you commit to action and not just self-motivated fluffery and puffery and self-soothing delusion. I don't want you to do this. You're on a webinar January 8th. You're on a webinar April 18th. We'll probably do this one again in the fall, probably in September. September, like, yeah, 7,500, yay! And I was like, well, how was Q2? Oh, Q2 sucked. Q2 was terrible. Q2 was awful. Q2, I never want to relive Q2 either. Well, something has to change, guys. Something has to change. So I love that you're committing in the question box, but let's commit in real life. Let's get you the help that you need. Let's change the behavior. Let's change the number that leaves your lips. And I'll be a lot happier and I'll be a lot less pissy in September. Because here's the deal. Your job is to pay your bills. Your job is to pay your bills. You can turn this around in a few weeks. This is not going to take months and months and years and years. No more small potatoes thinking. No more small potatoes doing. You got to stop treating this like an expensive hobby. Doing okay or treading water financially, that was not your initial dream when you started your speaking-driven business. How much should you be earning? What's the benchmark kind of entry level that I think every expert who speaks professionally should be making? What we call doctor money. According to payscale.com, the average family physician in the U.S. earns $186,600 a year. If you're not doing at least that as a speaking-driven professional, you're not even trying. You're not, this is lack of effort. This is lack of commitment. This is what we were talking about earlier, the lack of decisiveness. Now, some of you guys, you're already here and you want to get to 200 or 250 or 300 or 350. Some people want to double this. Some people want to triple this. That's great. I'm talking minimum as a starting point. It should be $186,600. If you're not bringing that down as your annual revenue, we need to talk. We need to talk. Let's talk about another huge landmine, which is you are not paid hourly. And this one drives me absolutely crazy. When I started out, I studied fees closely. I went to the Washington Speakers Bureau website. I browsed around. What I noticed is no speakers had any kind of fee. I found one of my early heroes. This is in the early 2000s, about 18 years ago. Tom Peters. Still love Tom Peters. Tom Peters actually has a brand new book. He has a brand new book called The Excellence Dividend that's out right now. But I found Tom, and on the Washington Speakers Bureau, he was level 6. I was like, wait a second. What the heck is a fee level? And more importantly, what the heck is level 6? So by the way, here's Tom Peters doing a seminar. Here's me doing a seminar. I think you can see the resemblance. You know, Tom has more hair. He's about 25 years older than I am. He has more hair, and he still loves to punch his audience in the face with value. And I love to punch my audience in the face with value. So just a little fun tip there about my hero, Tom Peters. So here's the deal. I poked around the website. I said, oh my God, level 6? Level 6 speaker. He's making $40,000 per speech or more. I said, oh my gosh, how can that possibly be? Turns out his actual number is 50,000 back when I researched this. And I figured, okay, well, how could this possibly work? Well, Tom's audience is highly placed executives at big global companies. So big leadership teams, big leadership conferences, usually between 800 and 1,000 executives in his audience. And I started doing the math. I said, okay, we're paying this guy $50,000. He's going to come in and talk to 1,000 of our top managers. Oh my God, that's like $50 a head. That's like $50 per person, $50 per brain that he is impacting. So do you think that Tom Peters, when he's done doing a seminar, is he going to give $50 of value to each executive there with more innovation, more new ideas? $50 worth of better leadership, $50 of more collaboration, $50 of more smarter, better product, services, programs, initiatives, culture, engagement. Is he going to deliver $50 to everybody in that room? I suddenly thought, here was the mind shift. Here was the huge mind shift. I was like, you know what? Tom, buddy, you're underpriced. You're underpriced. You're delivering at least $100 of value per person. Why isn't your speaking fee $100,000? Now, I want you to convert this to our world, right? We're not Tom Peters. We're not super celebrities. I'm not saying you should charge by attendance, but as a self-esteem and self-value exercise. If you've got 70 people, 80 people, 100 people in a room, do you think you can deliver $50 of value on your topic to each one of those brains that's in that room? Of course you can. So a local chapter meeting between 70 and 100 people, let's just use $50 as a benchmark. 3,500 to 5K, easy. State association conference, 100 to 300 people in the room. 5K, 10K, 15K, easy. National meeting, anywhere from 200 people to 2,500 people and up from there. 10K to 125K of value that you're delivering. A small conference, 150, 200 people, $7,500 to $10,000 of value that you're delivering. A medium-sized conference, again, between 2,500 and 250 on the small end. The numbers just add up when you're showing up and going, I'm charging $300. I'm charging $1,000. It just doesn't make financial economic sense from your side or theirs. So I'm going to encourage you right now. There are no rules. You set the rules. You determine the value that you deliver to every audience, and I'm going to liberate you from the small potatoes thinking and the limited beliefs and the comparison trap and all of these things that you might be doing to yourself where you're saying, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, that won't work for me. Come on. You can't deliver $50 of value to someone sitting in your audience? Multiply by 100, multiply by 150, multiply by 200. Every single person on this webinar right now should at least be charging $4,500. And again, I'm seeing the names. Many of you guys are already at 8, 9, 10, 12, and you should be at 10, 12, 15, 18, but you're not there because the same self-limiting beliefs at a higher level are holding you back. So no rules. Throw the rules, throw the limits out the window, and start charging for value. So client success with John Garrett, specifically around this financial piece, the best return on investment a recovering CPA could dream of. I was able to sell more speaking engagements. Watch this sequence. More speaking engagements, not fewer, more, to better clients. Hint, hint, better clients pay higher fees attract better clients, to the point of an 85% increase in annual income from last year. I booked a $5,500 gig within 5 weeks of starting the program. And prior to this, John had trouble getting $2,000 and $3,000 gigs. And today he's at $7,500 and up and up and up from there. Because the fee elevation and escalation strategies that we teach in our program, he's run with the ball, he's kept doing the work, he's kept up-leveling his prospecting and sales process. He's been reinforcing his beliefs about his value because he is delivering massive value to every audience and every client that he works with. And that's the kind of results that you can create once you start to get into this beneficial loop and you leave behind the comparison trap and you leave behind the limiting beliefs that might have been holding your fee down way too low for way too long. So here's what you need. All you really need to start commanding this kind of fee is a strong, well-packaged topic, clear market need and demand, which we can help you clarify, firm belief in your fee. That's what we're talking about today. That's the piece that we're pulling out and blowing up and expanding on today. And then in your sales process, having a questioning plan to uncover the context of value and the contrast of scale. So let's give you that right now. Here's your sales aha moment. Do not let your fee be the first number that comes up in conversation. Always establish their numbers and their math first. So what that means is the context of value and the contrast of scale, no matter what your topic, no matter what your area of expertise, we're getting 20 people into a room. Oh, okay. Well, what's the average salary of those employees and how many of them are there? Well, these are, mid-level managers, kind of early to mid-level. They're making about $80,000. That's their average salary. Just so I know, just so you know the level that they're at. Well, that's interesting. And you said there's 20 of them. Yes. So 20 times 80,000, we're looking at moving the needle on $1.6 million of payroll value, right? So 1.6 million is 80,000. That's their average salary times 20, 1.6 million. So even if we make these people 10% more effective, 10% of 1.6 million is what? 160,000. So I'm going to have in my sales conversation that $160,000 of enhanced payroll value where you're getting 10% more productivity and effectiveness out of each and every one of these managers, each and every one of these salespeople, each and every one of these customer service managers, each and every one of these, whatever they are, right, engineers. That is $160,000 that drops right to the bottom line. Am I right? They say, yeah, no, I never thought about it that way. But yes, you're right. And you can do this monetization and dollarization with almost everything. So average deal size, customer lifetime value. What would a 1%, 2%, 5%, or 10% increase in the good stuff, decrease in the bad stuff? What would that mean to you? And then keep hammering home in every sales conversation the question, can you put a number on it? Can you put a number on it? Can you put a number on it? And here's a sales quiz, guys. If the person you're talking to cannot put a number on it, productivity, customer service, internal career management, health, wellness, personal finance, leadership, ethics, whatever your topic is, if they can't put a number on it, what's wrong with the person that you're talking to? Type this in the question box. If you say, can you put a number on it? Well, I really don't know. Can you put a number on it? Gosh, that's a great question. I'll have to find out. Can you put a number on it? No, I really have no idea. If those are the answers that you're getting, what is that a clue about? Teresa, who's picking up what we're laying down here?
Bob has it spot on. They're not the decision maker. Kathy says they aren't the right person to speak to. Person's
ding,
not
ding,
a real
ding.
decision maker.
Yes.
Wrong
yes,
person.
yes.
On and on. We do have some smart cookies here.
I'm telling you, this is not their first rodeo. This is totally fantastic. You guys are spot on. You are not connecting with the right decision maker. And again, that problem is fixable. All of these problems are fixable. It's just, do you have the commitment to fix them? So when you hear the phrase, your fee is too high, I guarantee it's 3 problems that it's not. It's not about your fee. It's not about your program. It's not even about their budget. It's about their degree of confidence that you can get them the outcome that they want. So it's a confidence gap. They have the money. If I said, guys, I have a 100% stone cold guarantee that if you give me $100,000 today, I will give you $1 million tomorrow. Besides going to jail for doing a Ponzi scheme, if you had 100% confidence, and that's why con men, by the way, con stands for confidence, right? If you had 100% confidence that giving me $100,000 today would give you $1 million tomorrow, I could get $100,000 from everybody on this call. Everybody on this webinar would be sending me a PayPal for $100,000 right now, because it's not about the fee. It's not about the program. It's not about the budget. You would beg, borrow, or steal. You would steal this $100,000 from your kids, and you'd give it to me because I'm giving you $1 million tomorrow. The confidence gap is what's killing your sales. The confidence gap is what's killing your sales. So the more you ask about money early and often, the more you draw the connection between where they are and where they want to go, and then show them the return on investment, the sooner and bigger the sales will come in. The sooner and bigger the sales and the money will come in. Here's what I mean about the bridging language and the connective language. When they've told you what they want as the outcome of the speech, the outcome of the training, the outcome of the executive coaching, the outcome of the consulting program, the language that you come back with, when they say, hey, we're a $10 million company, we'd like to be $15 million in 24 months. Well, Stanley, it sounds like we're building a bridge to that $15 million company. We're on the road to getting you that additional $5 million of revenue in the next 24 months. We're moving the needle towards, the reason I call this connective language or bridging language, there's a big bridge on my graphic here, is you are literally and physically drawing an analogy to getting them from where they are to where they want to be. A bridge, a road, and moving the needle are all they're physical movement, right? So a bridge takes them over the gap from where they are on one side of the cliff to the other side of the cliff. If we're on the road, then we're making progress. And you're the map, you're the compass, you're the GPS. When we're moving the needle, it's like a speedometer. Hey guys, right now you're going 20 miles an hour towards this goal. Let's get you going 55 or 60 miles an hour towards this goal. So this language right here is going to be a game changer for every sales conversation that you have. We're building a bridge to outcome A. We're on the road to getting you result B. We're moving the needle towards accomplishment C that they just spent 20 minutes telling you they want. After you speak, after you coach, after you consult, after you train, the ultimate outcome is some result that they want. When you reinforce that and you mention that and you paint yourself as the necessary missing piece in the connective tissue that will get them there, that will accelerate their path and accelerate their speed rather, and shorten the path to them getting the outcome that they just told you they want, you will close more sales for bigger dollars every single time. More sales, bigger dollars every single time. So here's the exact scripting. Once you've done your diagnostic sales conversation, for the program that we just talked about, that will improve X, boost Y, create Z, help you generate, reduce, slash, solve, fix, whatever they said they wanted. Whatever they said they wanted. And throw in 2, 3, 4 things in here. And give your folks, give your team, give your employees, give your managers the exact strategies, mindset, and skill set to significantly move the needle on result 1, result 2, result 3 for you and the team and the company. The investment is only $7,500. The investment is only $7,500. Always use the word investment. Never use price. Never use cost. I'm not even crazy about fee. Cost and price and fee are about you. Investment is you give me X, I give you back 10X. It's like a revenue machine. It's like a dollar machine, right? I put in $1, I get out 10. I'm happy to make investments in my company, in my team, in my members, in my conference. I'm not happy spending money. I'm not happy with prices and costs. I am very happy with investments. So client success, Susan Robertson, very successful consultant, never really been paid to speak. She landed her first gig. She asked me for some contract terms. I was like, wait a second. This is a confirmed gig? How much are they paying you? She says $7,500. First time ever quoting that number and getting that number. So much so, she wasn't sure how to charge for it. She wasn't, well, what do I put in the agreement? How does this work? This whole getting paid to speak thing. Then, a couple weeks later, she says, I just got a speaking gig I feel sure I never would have gotten if I weren't in your program. Chock full of prime prospects for me. I would have done it for free, but instead I'm getting $3,500 plus full-length HD video, plus personal introductions to people that I target from their list, plus video testimonials. That's a huge win for me for something I would have normally done for free and probably wouldn't have even thought to get regardless. So again, imposter syndrome, small potatoes, I'm not worthy, they'd never pick me, right? Totally fantastic. Huge congrats from me and Teresa. I just handed her the phone to show her your message. So what happened right here? From zero speaking income to $11,000 in the span of 6 weeks. All because the value conversation was dialed in, the belief system was dialed in, the scripting was dialed in, and everything worked together to support Susan's success. And since then, she's gotten gigs for $12,000. She's gotten a 2-day gig for $30,000 and up and up and up from there. Once you start to get this down, it's like riding a bicycle. That number one, you never forget, and number two, you never go back. You never forget how to ride a bike. It becomes part of your muscle memory, and you also never slide backwards. It's very rare that people suddenly forget how to ride a bike. So here's the bonus tip. Always end your speaking fees with $500. $7,500 actually sounds less than $7,000. $9,500 sounds less than $9,000. Why? Because it's cute. It's fuzzy. It ends in the word hundred. It does not end in the big scary word thousand. So how much for the puppy? Look, he's friendly. He's cute. He's only $2,500. Wait a second. That's a $2,000 dog? No, it's not a $2,000 dog. $2,500. Right? $2,500 actually sounds less than $2,000, which makes no mathematical sense, but the way the brain processes the word hundred is very different than the way the brain processes the word thousand. And isn't that a cute dog? What a cute little guy. So cute. All right. So if you've ever felt this way, this is the stuff that we're going to get rid of right now. That only super speakers, only the genetically perfect speaker, whoever he or she is, can charge X number of dollars, pick the number, plug in the number, right? I'm not ready. I'm just starting out. I'm not a big name. I don't have a New York Times bestseller. I don't have a PhD. I don't have a zillion clients. I never charged more than X. Forget about that. Forget about all of that. What we just talked about today throws all of these out the window once and for all. Now, whatever that excuse is, and again, I'll let you take your pick. It could be any of these or all of them. Is that objectively true or objectively false? Please type in the question box that your fee is dependent on any of those things. True or false? True or false? Quick true or false pop quiz here. Type in the question box if you feel that any, and let me go back as you're typing in true or false. Are any of these objectively, factually, concretely true across the board, that any of these should be holding you back in the fees that you charge and the fees that you get? I'm hoping we have a lot of false, and I'm hoping that no one's buying in to these phantom excuses and these phantom mistakes. Teresa, what's the question box?
We have a full house of false.
False, 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 false. Right?
Full house. Yep.
Tell you what, I don't have a PhD either, guys. I don't have a zillion clients. I've never charged more than $15,000, $20,000. That's okay. It's all good. It's all good. Okay. Biggest takeaway, prospects and your buyers, they buy who they are. And some people are Timex and some people are Rolex. So you need to decide, am I going to the pizza parlor? Am I going to the ladies' auxiliary? Am I going to the church basement? Because you will never convert a Timex into a Rolex. My friend Mark Hunter says this a different way. He says you will never convert a Walmart shopper into a Nordstrom's customer. You are looking in the wrong place. These people live in different pockets. They speak a different language. They've got a different value system. Everything is different. So once you start moving upstream, you will turn off the freeple, the ones that want you to come and speak and train for free. You will repel the low-cost cheaple, the ones that have $300, $800, $1,200. You'll literally repel them. Do not be afraid of repelling the cheaple. You want to repel the cheaple. And you will finally attract your people. You will finally attract the high-fee clients that are looking for high-fee experts, happy to pay, willing to pay, and expecting to pay premium fees for premium value. Tony Lucero, another great success story. He says, long story short, I picked up 2 coaching clients totaling $32,400, and I'm on retainer for 90 days at $10,000 per month with the company. He says, stay the course. I was doing the activity that David outlines, focused on what I wanted to attract, right? The Rolex, not the Timex. And that's what allowed the doors to be opened. So Tony stopped looking for love in all the wrong places. Tony stopped serving the Timex market. Stay the course, do the work, and know your target market. I believe in you. Get activated. And I said, love, love, love these results, energy, and momentum. Go, Tony. And then Tony at the bottom there says, your program, David, made this possible. I will tell you, the mindset shift I just walked you through, Timex versus Rolex, that's what made this possible. And that's what makes it possible for you. But you have to shift, and it's not comfortable, and sometimes it's not easy. It is simple, but it's not easy. Because here's the harsh truth. By charging too little and staying focused, and whatever too little means to you, some of you guys are charging 10 grand. That's too little for you. It is. It's too little for you. So, Frank, Jim, you know who I'm talking about, right? By charging too little and staying focused on groups who can quote unquote afford your too low rate, you've cut yourself off from the entire top tier of clients, that next level, who are looking for top tier speakers who charge top tier fees. So here's a quick business model, revenue model, how to get to 300K fast. Let's say your speaking fee is fairly low, it's 5K. 2 of those a month is 10K. You're already making 6 figures just on that with 120,000 in the bank. If you want to add 2 training days a month, also 5K, there's another 120. Let's say you have a $6,000 coaching program. Now we're at 72. There's your $300,000 model. Now, the beauty of this is, number one, you know what you're shooting for. And number two, this isn't even counting repeat business, referral business, spin-off, selling your books, selling your products, sponsorships, licensing, selling your coaching or consulting package. None of it. This is pure front-end speaking-driven income. And you can adjust this. You can add to it. You can take it up. You can take it down. You can adjust the dials. This is about understanding where you're heading and answering two questions. How busy do you want to be? And how much money would you like to earn? And then putting you back in the driver's seat of proactively making those decisions for your business. So given that that model is adjustable and totally flexible, anywhere from 150 to 500, 600, 700,000, anything in between, do you think you've been aiming too low? Do you think that your own standards for revenue generation may be a little bit too low and that you're committing to up your game right here, right now? If that's the case, type in too low in the question box. Type in too low. If you feel that given this very simple back of the envelope math, it's like, oh my gosh, this shouldn't be hard. This should not be hard. This is totally adjustable. You want to scrap the training? Great. Do 120 plus 72. Now you're at 92. You don't do coaching? Great. Drop the coaching. 120 plus 120 is 240. This is all good. This is no magic number other than the number that you want to generate. Dialing it in, adjusting it, and then if you've been aiming too low, type too low in the question box, and let's see if we can readjust and recalibrate to a number that gets you pretty excited, a number that gets you pretty happy, a number that's like, damn, that's why I'm doing all this work. Damn, that's why I'm in business. I'm not in business just to do okay or to tread water. I'm in business to have a lifestyle fueled by this kind of income that I can get, that I know I deserve, and that my clients are happy to pay. So if that hasn't been the case until today, because I know we're having a religious transformation right now, type in too low. Type in too low. Teresa, who's been too low?
John's been too low. Lynn, Jane, Kathy, Aaron, Vivian, Michael, Wayne. Joy says too low, all capitals, exclamation points. Dr. Pamela Fox, Billy, Kathy, Cassandra, Tamara, Jerome, Don.
I'm glad we're having a religious conversion rally right here. And that's exactly right. Totally fixable. Totally fixable, right? So I'm not exactly sure why you showed up today. We literally have people at every single level. We've got some fairly new people. We've got some very nice mid-career speakers here. We've got some advanced superstars, rock stars. It could be that you're a seasoned pro who wants to get more gigs at higher fees. Could be that you're an author or an expert who wants to speak more and earn more. Maybe you're a coach or a consultant who wants to turn speaking into clients. Maybe you simply want to impact more people, raise your fees, and simply get out of this low fee, no fee hell that so many people are stuck in. So now you have a choice, my friends. You can keep going the old way, old results, doing okay, keep being confused, treading water, spinning your wheels, not earning the kind of money that you really want, not reaching that next level of income, whether you're early or mid-career or an advanced superstar. Just can't figure out the password to the secret club of experts who are making great money. And with no guidance and no accountability and no support, I can tell you from firsthand experience, that is a hard, lonely road. Other option is that can all end today. And we can hop on a call, diagnose what's really going on, find the strategic gaps in your speaking-driven business, help you refocus, reframe, reboot, look at everything that needs to be fixed, from your messaging and packaging, positioning, pricing, marketing, sales, negotiating. Basically, fill in what's missing for you to consistently get clients that you love and finally earn what you deserve. And you book that one-on-one strategy session with our team at doitmarketing.com/apply. doitmarketing.com/apply. Scheduler is going to come up. You're going to schedule a time. We're about to go into our Q&A right now, so hang out for that. There's going to be a questionnaire, a prep form that comes up after the scheduler. Leave that tab open. Complete that at your convenience so that our team has the information that we need to hit the ground running and maximize the value of your consultation time. So, like I said, our team and I have set aside some time to speak to you personally about how you can apply these ideas to your business starting today. There is no cost. We get this question all the time. How much is it? How much does it cost? The cost is free. The cost is zero. And you get a slot by going to doitmarketing.com/apply. And Teresa, I think you popped that into our chat window so folks have a little clickable hot link if they want that.
Sure did, twice, and also in the question Q&A, so it's in both places.
Super. So the only catch with this really is it's not for everybody. So this is not for you if building a high-fee, speaking-driven business is not your number one priority over the next 3 to 6 months. If this is a someday, maybe, kind of dabbler, amateur kind of thing, then it's probably not for you. You don't know what you want to be when you grow up. And again, similar thing, no dabblers, no hobbyists. We don't want, tire kickers and people that don't have a firm commitment to this. You refuse to follow a proven process, and you refuse to take action on the instructions that we're going to give you during your one-on-one. We find that very frustrating, and I think you will too. So don't book a call if you're not coachable. If you refuse to change your low-fee mindset and low-fee business model, and again, that's a coachability point, then we probably don't have a lot to talk about. If you're down to your last few dollars and you need to pay the rent this month, this is specifically not a get-rich-quick, instant millionaire kind of nonsense. To me, that's the cancer of the speaker coaching business and the speaker kind of mentoring business, is all of this get-rich-quick, wave a magic wand, and you'll be an instant overnight millionaire. We don't believe in that. That's not how it works. We believe in get-rich-smart, and you have to walk before you run, before you fly. So this is for you if you're serious, decisive, and committed to making your business more profitable over the next 60 to 90 days. Whether you're newer to speaking or a seasoned pro, whether you've got your niche or message nailed down or not, that's part of what we can talk about during your strategy call. Whether you're in this full-time or planning your escape, you're in a transitional mode, that's fine too. Whether you've gotten lots of paid speaking gigs or only a few, as long as you're willing to follow a proven process to ramp up revenue and you take mentorship and direction well, and you want to put an additional 10K to 20K in your pocket over the next 60 to 90 days and build a predictable flow of clients and cash, I would encourage you, book a call, let's get on the phone with the team, figure out where you are, figure out the shortest, smartest path to get you where you want to go at doitmarketing.com/apply. So here's why we're doing this. On the call, we're going to help you get total clarity about exactly what you want your business to look like and the exact steps that you should take to achieve your goals. If you want our help and if we think it's a good fit, we may invite you to work with us and we may not. Either way, my promise to you is that this is the most valuable 45 minutes that you will invest to grow your speaking-driven business and help you get the results that you want from exactly where you are right now. So nothing is left out, nothing is assumed. You can be new, intermediate, advanced, Speaker Hall of Fame. We've talked to all of these folks, we've helped all of these folks remove some obstacles, answer some key questions, and point them in the right direction. You get that call by going through the scheduler and the prep form that's waiting for you at doitmarketing.com/apply. We're going to go into our Q&A right now. I know, Teresa, you may have to hop off here in a moment, but if you're interested in a rapid breakthrough, these slots always go quickly. I would encourage you, apply now, pop open a browser window, go to doitmarketing.com/apply, book the time. When the prep form comes up, fill that out. We'll be doing this Q&A for the next 15, 20 minutes as long as people have questions about any of today's teaching or training. And who's got the first question? Just type that in the question box, and I see some appointments coming in already. So that's great. The link, again, is on the screen. It's going to stay on the screen during our Q&A. doitmarketing.com/apply is where to book your one-on-one. We would love to talk to you and help you figure out how to apply some of these fee setting and fee getting strategies and help you really monetize your expertise in ways that might have been elusive to you until now, and even anchoring you in some of the strategies on this masterclass to get you firm and clear and committed and decisive to take that right turn in your business and stop settling for what you're settling for and start really making happen what you want, personally and professionally and financially. So, Teresa, let's go to the question box. Who's got the first question?
Sounds good. Well, CJ says, you said before, talk directly to decision makers. Where do I find my prospects and leads, otherwise known as decision makers, and who do I need to talk to?
So obviously that depends. That depends on your niche, your target market, your topic, but there are absolutely ways that you can do a listening campaign, figure out the size and shape and scope of your target market, figure out who are the decision makers. Here, I'll give you the short answer, which is the generic answer. It's applicable to everybody. For whatever problem you solve, you need to find the person that owns that problem. So we talked about the sales scripting. Can you put a number on it? Can you put a number on it? Can you put a number on it? Only the person that owns that problem can put a number on it. And that's the same person who is willing and happy and probably seeking to invest in solving that problem and bringing in the solution. So you really have to do an intelligent prospecting campaign, which we help our clients with all the time, and figure out who are those people, what are the problems, learn to speak prospect language about prospect problems, not jargon, not speaker talk, not consultant speak, but speak prospect language about prospect problems, because that's what's going to resonate with them. And then every sales conversation becomes easier from that moment forward.
Awesome. Jane has a question. She says, how do you feel about doing written fee proposals?
So I'm a big believer in nothing good happens outside of a sales conversation. So the only time to send a proposal is once you've already had the conversation and the proposal simply puts in writing what they've already agreed to during the conversation. Maybe that proposal has options. Maybe that has good, better, best. Teresa, tell the story actually of our good, better, best proposal of one of our clients that just happened in the recent week or two.
Yeah, so we went in, never negotiated on the front end before, was asked to do a keynote, was ready to give a price. And we said, no, let's do a good, better, best. What was the discovery like? What did you uncover? All sorts of different metrics, ways that we could tie that ROI. And so we put together that good, better, best. Awesome proposal. And it got sent without any kind of follow-up conversation. It got sent ahead, and it wasn't tied to a conversation to give context to what was being proposed and why. And so at this point, the client has gone dark and said, basically they got this proposal thinking, whoa, what is all this stuff? I don't know what it is. There's no context. There's no relevancy to the problems they shared. There's nothing to tie it back. And so now the client temporarily has gone dark, and we're now working to chase them down to try to get them to have that conversation. So the fee proposal is great. The first discovery, make the proposal. But when you deliver that proposal, you have to be on a call or in a meeting to deliver context of why you're proposing what you're proposing based on the problems you shared with me in our first conversation. Here is how I can bring value to your organization. Here's what I would give us. Here's what it could look like to work in 3 different ways. And so these fee proposals to be sent ahead and allow the client to determine what the value prop is and how it actually solves the problems, that's too much. You've got to be able to be there to add context. So proposals are great when they're attached to a conversation directly with that person.
So Jane, what I'd recommend is book a call, and we will totally work through that with you. I think the problem that a lot of speaking-driven professionals, meaning coaches, consultants, speakers, trainers, fall into is proposal without conversation never, ever results in the kind of project that you want to land.
That's
Conversation followed by proposal is an easy yes, because at that point, they've already agreed to hire you. They've already agreed on the spectrum of solutions. And then it's a question of which of these options do I go with, not whether do I hire you or not. So it's option 1, option 2, or option 3, not should I hire Jane, should I not hire Jane. Also, a proposal without a conversation always leads to sticker shock. Always leads to sticker shock. I can say, you know what, Jane, it costs $50. And it's like, well, I'm not sure what I'm getting. I'm not sure why this is relevant. $50 is too high. If we nail down exactly what you want, exactly what you get, using some of the scripting we talked about today, outcome 1, result B, accomplishment C, and I say for all of that, I've got great news. It's only $50,000. You're like, man, how fast can I sign up? Because no one's going to spend $50 to get nothing, and they will easily spend $50,000 to solve a $1 million problem. You're not solving $1 million problems. You're not getting $50,000 checks. You're trying to sell a proposal. Any number that you say, that number is going to be too high because they're not connected to the outcome that you deliver. So we can turn that around, Jane. What I would do is just hop on a call, doitmarketing.com/apply. Let's work through your specific business, your specific niche and topic, and the kind of buyers that you're trying to connect with. And let's see if we can get you on a better path.
And Lisa has a question. She says, I'm promoting myself as a speaker at conferences for the purpose of growing my list to sell an online course. Most of the conferences in my field claim they don't pay or allow promotion. How can I promote myself without promoting?
So Lisa, that's a great question. I think there's really a couple of different macro level business models in the speaking world. There's speak for a fee or there's speak to sell. If you're doing speak to sell, I could name probably 17 different strategies that are going to be better for growing your list than going out. This is what we call prospecting with your body, right? Oh, there's a conference in Seattle with 200 people. Let me fly out to Seattle. Let me do my dog and pony show. Let me do my speak to sell from stage. Maybe I'll build my list. Maybe I'll sell some, courses. No. I mean, there's lots and lots of ways to build your list. So the clarity on your speaking model, your business model, and your revenue model, I think right now is kind of muddled. So are you speaking for leads? Are you speaking for money? Is it both? And are you even in front of the right rooms? I don't care if you get 200 names on your email sign-up list. Are they the right names? Are they the right people? Are you in front of the right audiences that are hungry for whatever your online course is about? What I'd rather have you do is take your online course, do speaking, and then enroll people in a high-fee, high-touch mentoring program built around the modules in your course. And don't sell the course for $500 or $1,000 or $1,200, but sell the mentoring for $10,000 or $12,000, and that's a business model. And that's also a high relationship, low volume business model where you can speak for revenue and then when and where appropriate, speak for leads or speak for mentorship clients or speak for any of those things. But I think right now, flying all over the country to build your list, with all due respect, that is not a good use of your time. And I think getting this dialed in with a different speaking model and a different business model and a different revenue model, which we can help you work through when you book a call at doitmarketing.com/apply, hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll unpack that for you. I always tell our clients, I honestly don't care if you speak for leads or speak for revenue, right? You can get paid to speak, which is awesome, and that's what we help a lot of our clients with. You can get paid because you spoke. Where I get really concerned is people that are doing neither. It's like, is this the right room? Is this the right audience? Are these the right leads? No. Am I getting paid money to be on that stage? No. Well, then why am I there? I don't know. Hope, prayer, wishing, hoping. Maybe I'll build my list. You never know who's in the audience. Maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll have I'll get a JV partner or a referral partner, or maybe I'll meet someone on the plane, or any of these crazy reasons. You don't want to leave your business results to chance. So dialing in business model, speaking model, revenue model, where all the dots connect, that's going to be of tremendous service to you. And I would encourage you to do that when you hop on a call with the team at doitmarketing.com/apply.
Awesome. We got one other question here. Jason says, my fee is $8K. I get it when I ask. Great job. I'm having a huge issue with getting invited in to speak. I've been speaking for about 10 years and used to get invited all the time. Now I've invested a great website, social media, articles on LinkedIn, but I've been booked the last year than I have in the last 10. Not sure what I need to do.
Well, I think it's again about Rolex versus Timex, right? And I think the key piece here is I get 8,000 when I ask. And what that means is when you connect with the right kind of prospect, with the right kind of language, who's in the right kind of situation where you know you can help them, you know you can add value, they know you can help them, they know you can add value. If you're not getting that fee consistently, that means you're probably having random sales conversations with random people that are not in the sweet spot of where you really want to be spending most of your time. And it's the 80-20 rule, right? So if 20% of the time you're getting 8K, no problem, and 80% of the time you're hitting a brick wall, wrong prospect, wrong client, wrong reason, don't own the problem, not urgent, not important, hey, Jason, come back in September. Hey, Jason, maybe we'll come back next year. Hey, Jason, this isn't really a priority for us. You're not tapping into a relevant, urgent problem enough of the time where you can start to get $8,000, $16,000, $24,000 a month in the door consistently. So it's a couple of interconnected problems, Jason. I would say it is a prospecting problem, it is a relevance problem, and it's a frequency problem. And how often are you talking to the right kinds of prospects with the right kinds of language at the right kinds of fee? If we move that from 20% to 40%, we'll double your business. It'll never be 100, but it going literally from 80-20 to 60-40 will double your business. So instead of $8,000 a month, you're making 16. Instead of $16,000 a month, you're making 32. Whatever the math is in your world, and also understanding what are the metrics of success. What are your conditions of satisfaction where you know that your speaking-driven business is working? Because it's very hard to hit a target that you cannot see. And this applies to everybody, guys. It's very hard to hit a target you cannot see. And when you sign up for a call, we can get you both the target and the visibility and the path and the plan to see it and start to get after it. So I would just encourage you, Jason, hop on a call with the team at doitmarketing.com/apply.
The other thing I heard, David, in that is that, there's a waiting of an invitation, and there's a lack perhaps of a proactive approach to really targeting and going after those Rolex customers and making that the initiative versus being out there and waiting to be found. And so really getting strategic around who do you want to work with and who do you want to work for and what problems are most pervasive for those people and how can you solve them, and really going after those people and having key strategic conversations. If we're just sitting around waiting for the phone to ring, it's not going to. So we have to put some effort into it and do smart prospecting and know who you need to talk to.
Right. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. I think, Teresa, we're at the bottom of the hour here. Do you have to run and go do your other thing?
I do.
Okay.
I do. You have one more. You have a couple more questions coming in, so I'll let you take those. Guys, it's been fantastic. Have an awesome day, and I'll see you on the backside.
Fantastic. All right, my friend. So the next question is from Jesse. Any insight? Let me open this up here. Any insight you can share on how often to follow up on a prospective client until you decide to stop calling him and emailing him? Man, so we just answered this in our mentor program. The answer is, as you might imagine, Jesse, as long as it takes. As long as it takes. Now, you shouldn't be pestering people, so don't misunderstand my advice here. It's not about bug them and, hey, is my check ready? And, hey, can we talk? And, hey, I want to sell you some stuff. It's really about a high-value series of touch points that you design and develop in advance that's meant to move the sales conversation forward. So is that 3 times? Is that 5 times? I keep going because here's about the persistence that we talked about earlier, right? The decisiveness, the commitment, the persistence. I will keep contacting and adding value. I'll try and do a multi-touch campaign. Some people are email people and they love email. Some people are phone people and they love phone. Some people live on LinkedIn. Some people live on Facebook. I will try and message them any way I can. The one that they respond to is the one that they prefer. If I've sent 3 emails and then I make a phone call, and they return my phone call the same day, I know I've got a phone person. If I leave 5 phone messages, one day I send an email, they reply to the email within 20 minutes, I know I have an email person. So you have to mix up the modes and the methods, but every touch point needs to add value. I think where a lot of speakers screw this up because they've gotten backwards, upside down, crazy advice is, oh, you should cold call your brains out. No, you should spam the heck out of people on LinkedIn. No, send them an email a day until they respond. No, 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 no. That is crazy talk. Why in the world do you think you would develop business and develop high trust client relationships by irritating the living daylights out of your prospects? That is completely ridiculous and completely counterproductive. I think doing it smartly and doing it in a multi-touch way so that, number one, they know that you're adding value and they know that you have something to offer. So I would almost reframe the sales conversation simply as the following. You are inviting people to a conversation on how you can help them. That's really what it comes down to. This is what we do in our mentorship program. That's why we're inviting you right now to a call. So we're not going to beat you over the head. We're not going to, put you in a headlock. We are going to invite you to a conversation on how we can help you. And some people get the help that they want during the call, and that's awesome. And some people we invite to work with us on a deeper level if we both feel it's a mutual fit. So, the same thing that we teach is the same thing that we do, whether you're selling coaching or consulting or keynotes or seminars or workshops, speaking prospect language about prospect problems with the person who owns the problem and inviting that person to a conversation on how you can serve them and help them is way better than spamming your brains out, bothering them, pestering them, and just basically, trying to bang down their door until they respond to you. That's the kind of person that's a pushy peddler, and we want to reframe this entire sales approach as a trusted advisor and as a partnership sale, not as a pushy, needy peddler sale. But Jesse, if you want to talk about that more, I would encourage you to book a call, obviously, at doitmarketing.com/apply. And based on your niche and based on your speaking model and revenue model, we can maybe customize a little bit of a better approach for where you are and where you'd like to go. All right, so Trevor's saying that our application form doesn't allow for international numbers. So just put in some random numbers. We're working on that. I realize that folks from the UK and other parts of the world, it is a phone field that's used to American phone numbers, Trevor. So just put in, 555-555-1212, and then you can put the actual phone number into the body text of the next question. And I apologize for that inconvenience. We're aware of that problem, and we're in the process of fixing it. Bob's question, from a prospecting perspective, how do I figure out who are Rolex and who are Timex? So part of this is some pattern recognition. And part of it's also doing a competitive scan in your industry of who tends to hire speakers and who doesn't. And when you're doing your competitive scan, it's going to be 3 to 5 speakers who are either direct or indirect competitors or alternatives to what you do. And doing some intelligent prospecting around LinkedIn, client lists, pattern recognition. So we're never poaching clients. Don't get me wrong about this strategy. What we're looking at is if I start to see, gosh, American Banking Association, everyone in my niche is apparently speaking at the American Banking Association. I've recognized that pattern. And I have a complementary program to what they're doing, or even a competing program, roughly equivalent to what they're doing. I should probably be getting into the American Banking Association. I should probably be getting into their national conference. I should probably be getting into their state conferences, because of course in the US there's 50 states. For every national association that has a state level conference, and they bring in main stage speakers and they pay their main stage speakers, opening keynote, mid-program, main stage program, closing keynote, all those are paid slots. And just doing some pattern recognition and a competitive scan will save you a ton of time. Literally, hundreds and hundreds of hours gets boiled down to maybe 10, 15 hours of intelligent prospecting over the matter of a few weeks. And you will have a very good shape and scope of what that target market looks like in that industry, in that association space, in that conference space. So Bob, does that make sense as far as what we're talking about with the competitive scan and the pattern recognition? I'm going to assume that is yes, but you can tell me in the question box if you want to. And Kathy's question is, what technology do you recommend for CRM when you're just starting out? So I do recommend the CRM because hopefully your prospecting and your outreach activity is going to get to a point where you don't want to and actually can't keep track of all of it in your head. Some people use, full-blown CRMs like Salesforce.com. Other people use very simple things like Pipedrive. Pipedrive.com is another one that you may want to look into. The point is, have a finite, written, workable list of prospects that you're always cycling through and that you're always connecting with and following up with. And also know where you are in the process, right? First call, second call, third call, first email, second email, third. I sent them this article. I sent them this link. I sent them this video. I sent them this value item. We had a conversation about this. They said their committee meeting is on March 20th. Whatever it is, right? Keep track of people because you're going to want to have 20 prospects in your pipeline at any given time. And what I always tell our clients is, if you trust your process, then you don't need to worry about the prospect, right? Often we get a prospect come in and it's like, oh my God, I got to close this one. I got to eat this month. I got to make money. And you start to get pushy and you start to get slimy and you start to get needy and they start to smell sales breath. And that is the absolute worst place, Kathy, to make a high trust, high relationship sale from. If you know that you've got a pipeline and you've got a process, you no longer need to worry about any single prospect because it's going to be, how can I serve this prospect the best? And then I'm going to move on. And if it's not you, it's the next one. If it's not the next one, it's the one after that. And having a predictable flow of prospects and leads and clients and checks makes you a fearless prospector and a fearless salesperson when you're selling your expertise. And again, Kathy, I'd encourage you, like I'm encouraging everyone, if you want to talk more deeply about your specific niche or industry or topic or business model and how that works and how to establish that pipeline of interested, eager prospects, I would encourage you to book that call with our team at that link, doitmarketing.com/apply. And so Jesse's in. Let's see. What is it like in Europe? Asks Christine. So we have had clients from Europe. Right now we have someone from Switzerland. We've got someone from Australia, which obviously is not Europe. We've had folks from obviously the UK, Canada, places like that. I would say that what we teach and what we mentor is going to be 85 to 90% applicable. Where you might have to change it, and you'll know how to change it because it's fairly obvious, is the cultural norms, the conversational sort of accepted sales etiquette of how things tend to happen. In America, we're pretty direct, and we're pretty much kind of cut to the chase, and here's what it is, and here's how I can help, and so forth. You can moderate that a little bit, and it totally translates. So our client in Australia, our UK clients, our European clients have all had great success. And again, if you want to just kind of check out what we're talking about and maybe even get some specific questions answered, Christine, it's doitmarketing.com/apply. Let's get you on the calendar. Let's have you, get a conversation on the team, and we can figure all of that out. All right. Anything else I missed? Other questions I can help with? I know the questions were popping in fast and furious a couple minutes ago. They probably scrolled by. If you did not get your question answered, pop it in again. I apologize for the duplication, but stuff was kind of flying fast and furious. If I missed something, would love to get a couple more questions answered. And again, anything about today's teaching, anything about the financial piece, the fee getting, the negotiating, this was all about money. And this was all about getting your head straight about fees and money and the standards in your business for your revenue model, what you want to make, what you need to make, how not to cut your nose off to spite your face, how not to lowball yourself, how to escape the price-driven sale, how to stop selling to Timex and start selling to Rolex. I mean, I am passionate about this topic because it's not lack of leads, it's not lack of value, it's not lack of speaking or coaching or consulting skill that kills a lot of good speakers' businesses. It's this stuff that we're talking about today. And if you're wrestling with it, let me answer as many questions as I can right now today. I would encourage you, heartily encourage you, book a call at doitmarketing.com/apply. Let's unpack this once and for all for you. Let's figure out what's missing, funky, broken, and sad, give you a handful of strategies to fix it, improve it. This needs to be an always on, always available, permanent asset in your sales and marketing toolkit. If you don't get the money right, nothing else is going to work. You know, I have never met a speaker who is great at this stuff and says, man, I just can't get booked because my presentation sucks. I'm a terrible speaker. I'm a terrible consultant. I'm a terrible coach. Yes, I'm getting paid $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month, but man, I'm a terrible speaker. I'm a terrible presenter. You know what I've seen? I've seen the opposite. I'm an awesome speaker. I'm an amazing trainer. I'm a fantastic presenter. I just can't get the money right. I can't get the money side of my business to work. I can't get it to click. I don't know where to find prospects. I don't know how to negotiate the fees. I don't know how to stick to my guns. I wish I could get this part right because, man, when I'm on stage, when I'm in that training room, when I'm doing my consulting, I hit home run after home run after home run. I am awesome at what I do. I just need to dial in the money part. If that's your situation, let's get you on a call with the team at doitmarketing.com/apply. All right. Anything else I can answer for you guys before we wrap it up here in the next couple of minutes? And I'll just put that link one more time in the chat so you have it handy and clickable. How much work? Wow, what a great question. So how much work? How much work is this? And it's so funny. I had a call this morning with a fantastic speaker. And I said, well, what's taking up your time now? And she says, oh, well, you know, I'm blogging, I'm redoing my website, I'm shooting videos, I'm doing all this content marketing, I'm hiring my VA. I said, okay, that's cool. I said, here's the deal. When you're talking about improving your business, when you're talking about getting your fees and your financial situation squared away, finally earning the fees that you deserve, repositioning, repackaging, remessaging your business so it's immediately appealing to the correct target market, I said, this is not extra work. And the one word that we forbid in our mentoring program is the word homework. There is absolutely no homework. There is only work. And this is the work that you need to be doing every day anyway. So how much time? I'm going to say 2 hours a day. 2 hours a day if we invite you in, if we invite you into the mentoring program, it's a mutual yes. It's going to be 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. If you do more, you will get further faster. But at a minimum, it is 2 hours a day of working on your marketing, sales, and business development. I would say if you're a speaking-driven professional and you are not spending 2 hours a day, you might be a speaker, you might be a consultant, you might be a trainer or a coach, but you are not a professional. Amateurs spend less than 2 hours a day. Professionals, and by professional means we get paid every time we do it. A professional pilot gets paid every time she does it. A professional dentist gets paid every time he does it. A professional engineer gets paid every time he does it. A professional speaker or coach or consultant gets paid every time she does it. If you're not putting 2 hours a day into your marketing, sales, and business development efforts, you're an amateur. You're a dabbler. You do not earn the right to call yourself a professional. I know it sounds harsh, but whenever people say, well, how much time does this take, David? Exactly how much work is this? I'm going to quote Larry Winget. Larry Winget has a book. It's called Work for a reason, right? If this was no work, we'd all be zillionaires. This is work, but finally you'll be doing the right work in the right way for the right reasons with the right people to generate the kind of fees that we talked about today. So it's at least 2 hours a day. If you put in more, you will get further faster. And I say that to all of our clients. I say that to everybody that books a call. There's no magic wand. There is no silver bullet. There is no magic beans. I'm just being very, very real with you that this is absolutely how it needs to work. Absolutely how it needs to work. And Jesse says, you are great. And thank you for doing the Facebook Live videos also. You are very welcome, my friend. Looking forward to having you chat with the team at doitmarketing.com/apply. That's all the questions that I see right now. Fantastic speaking with you guys. Book the call. Do not wait. Do not delay. We can't wait to hop on the phone and help you. We'll talk on your breakthrough call. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye.